I was having a conversation with somebody about this at TEDx, which I did recently, talking about how when someone gets known for something, you kind of assume like, well, that's just their God-given talent. And one day they woke up and said, now I'm going to share my God-given talent. And it got really popular overnight. But they never really see the progression because you didn't know about the person when they were unknown. And that's kind of the point. Not that, Vsauce was unknown, but it was a niche thing. It was, like you said, kind of like a trickle down from the Barely Political audience. And it's not until you started doing those videos that initially were called dot, because you would just write like the name of something and then put a period at the end for some reason.
Yeah.
You'd write like water, period.
Sound, period.
Sound, period. Yeah. Well, so I was creating playlists. So back then you could do an image map for your header that was clickable. So one day I was creating like the headers for Vsauce 1 and Vsauce 2 with little jars of sauce. And in each jar of sauce was a show. And Michael's new, what was new at the time, series of him exploring these incredible topics in depth needed a name. So since you were putting periods at the end of each word, it was just like, I guess this is a show called dot.
Yeah. You can even use the Internet Archive to go back and look at the Vsauce YouTube channel and see the history of its header images. And yeah, back in the day, we had like buckets of sauce that were different colors and represented the different shows that were on the channel. And that became really unsustainable because people want some continuity to what they get from a channel. And if you have multiple people doing very different shows, then they're wary of like clicking on a new upload from the channel. That was definitely true back then. So creating Vsauce 2 so that then we would at least have the continuity of hosts on each channel, where I'm on Vsauce 1, Kevin's on Vsauce 2. Then you could kind of do whatever you wanted and people always got what they were expecting when they clicked on a new upload. So that's how that happened.
So what's the balance on that? Because you have to keep doing fresh stuff, especially when you're figuring out exactly what's going on. Which, when you're going comedy, video games, all of this into informational-based things, you're sorting that out. So then you break off on another channel. What's the balance between doing all that fresh new stuff and giving somebody something familiar to latch onto? So, like you said, they get what they're expecting to get.
Well, I guess it's sort of the ultimate question. You want to change enough every time that people don't move on, but you don't want to be so different that they think you're something new and they stop clicking on your new uploads. So, at the very least, like always having the same person behind the content or, in front of the camera, literally being the host helps, because then we're just following your creative journey. But, you also need to kind of explain when you change things up, because it's all being distributed through this one channel. In the olden days, you would do different kinds of projects like a Broadway play, and then you would do some stand-up comedy, and then you would make an album. And they were all distributed so differently that the expectations were already very clear to the audience. Oh, it's an album with songs on it. I bet it's going to be musical. Oh, it's a stand-up thing. I bet I'm supposed to laugh. But if you're putting everything on one channel, then it's like, well, what is this? You never know. Is it going to be comedy? Is it going to be music? Is it going to be educational? And it's a weird challenge that you have when you've got this big silo where all your content goes. And that was sort of new with YouTube and social media.
I think that there's a huge challenge there too, still to this day, when trying to just kind of talk to your audience. I know that that's a challenge for us on Vsauce, where every upload is expected to be this show, kind of this premium content show where you're going to dive in depth into some sort of topic in an entertaining way. And but if you want to just tell people like, hey, I'm going on the road with Adam Savage to do Brain Candy Live, here's where you can get tickets. There's not an easy way to just kind of slot that in on YouTube in a way that you can easily on like a Facebook or an Instagram or a Twitter, because it's not the same.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't really do vlogs where I can promote something really quickly. I feel like the continuity on Vsauce should be that there's always a lot that you learn from each episode. So just an episode that does nothing but, hey, just want to let you know that you can buy our merch on this new store, buy, is just not going to get the same traction, you know? So to promote anything, I've got to create a whole new Vsauce video. And it's just kind of a unique difference, right? Like on YouTube, I've got to make something big. But on Twitter, I can just post a weird Unicode character and everyone goes, haha, love it, you know? And they don't go, I expected a novel from you every time you make something. So on Twitter, I can do something really quick. On YouTube, I feel like it has to be a bit bigger. Now, if I did smaller stuff, for instance, what I've been doing on the Dong channel, those aren't necessarily even smaller. Many of them are longer than many classic Vsauce episodes. However, I don't think they are as complete, and they're all off script. I mean, I'm just talking, right? And so I was just nervous that like the YouTube algorithm would learn like, oh, wait, the show is different. People are responding differently. Let's kind of like lay off promoting it in related and in subscription boxes. Plus, I wanted to build the Dong channel, and I think doing quick shows about like Michael's toys wouldn't have fit on Vsauce as well. And I don't want people to look at a new Vsauce upload and think, well, I don't know, is this going to be a 20-minute long episode about relativity? Or is it going to be like Michael playing with a ball that floats and sinks?
So in a way, the videos that you're doing on Dong sort of become your vlog in a way, right? Where you're able to just say, here's what I've been thinking about lately, or here's this new really neat toy, this Galveston board or whatever it may be, these rulers that I just kind of wanted to share with you guys. And I thought you might be interested in it. Okay, bye.
Yeah, in a way, it is very much a vlog. Yeah, it's me going, all right, start rolling. I know what topic I want to discuss. It's Morse code, and I've got a few things to say about it. I don't know what order I will say them in. And there might be a lot of ums, and there might even be some repetition, but it's the Dong channel. So Dong has also become a really great experimental laboratory where I can be like, you know what? I'm going to just do 3 hours of saying prime numbers. I'm going to do a new show, and I might never do this show again. But you know what? That keeps Dong spicy.
Yeah, which is important to have a spicy Dong, I think.
Yeah.
Everybody wants that.
Yeah. How many did we just lose a sponsor?
I think so. No, maybe we just gained a sponsor in like Slim Jims or something. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. The Dong channel name is really funny, but I like just being committed to things and pretending like, wait, Dong has another meaning? I thought it was just an acronym for Do Online Now, guys. But of course, the content that we put there is no longer exclusively things you can do online now, guys. It's just, but you know, the word Dong doesn't have to be an acronym. It can just morph into something new. It would be worse if we called the channel Awesome Website Countdown. Then we would be stuck. And I couldn't do an episode about a mathematical proof there. So then Dong becomes its own character. And so, yeah, that's been really fun to watch. Yeah, that's